Hey Buns. So today I want to talk about how I managed to play Final Fantasy XIV every single day without getting bored of it. I don't recommend that you do this. I don't think this is a normal amount to play, but I am a person who is easily bored, and I just think it's kind of interesting that I am able to play so much without getting burnt out. And I've wanted to sort of ask the question of why. Because usually, I mean, look, I stream this game 5 nights a week. The rest of the time, I am making videos for the game. And in my little bit of free time that I get, I want to play Final Fantasy XIV still. So why is that? Am I addicted? Do I have neuroses? I mean, yes, probably. Because, I mean, look, this isn't the first time that I have been heavily engaged in an MMO. Ever since WoW came out in 2004, I had been playing it super, super obsessively. And it was all I would think about. It's all I wanted to do was play World of Warcraft. And those were good times in the beginning. I liked that, but no king rules forever, and eventually the game started to change for the worse, and I found myself still continuing to log in every day out of habit. It all started to feel kind of like work. I logged in because it's just part of my routine. It just felt like the thing that I needed to be doing. It was comforting. It's familiar. I remember thinking to myself, maybe I am just getting old. Like, maybe I am... Like, maybe I've outgrown my childhood pleasures. And maybe I'm like mature now and stuff. Then I tried 14 and very quickly realized that's not the case at all. I'm very much not anywhere as mature as I should be for my age. Was having fun again once I started playing 14. So today I'm not going to be talking about, how do I play every day? Anyone can play every day. It doesn't mean they're having fun. I'm talking about how do I play every day while holding on to the magic and still feeling excited about it. But let's face it, we all know why I really play. Butts. Booty. I want to start with this question that a player asked Naoki Yoshida, Final Fantasy XIV's game producer 3 years ago. Hey Yoshi P. I love Final Fantasy XIV, but it's hard to keep playing your game because of the lack of content. I guess this was during a content lull between content patches. And now I'm taking a break here. Sorry for asking, but is there a way or a reason to keep playing? Or anything you can teach me about how to keep my motivation for playing your game? Yoshida said, it's all right to not play it every day. Since it's just a game, you can stop forcing yourself if it's hard on you to keep that up. Rather, it'll just pile up unnecessary stress if you limit yourself into playing just that one game, since there are so many others out there. So do come back and play it to your heart's content when the major patch kicks in, then stop it to play other games before you got burnt out, and then come back for another major patch. This will actually make me happier, and in the end, I think this is the best solution I can answer for keeping your motivation up for the game. A lot of people were stunned by his answer because it's like, what are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be selling subscription time? Why are you telling people to play other games between patches? Maybe it's just telling of how jaded we've become, that when a dev says that they would prefer it if you were happy and having fun than getting burnt out, they would prefer you were happy than just keep squeezing the subscription money out of you. That comes off as being revolutionary almost. We're like, wow, he wants me to have fun? Like, this man is a visionary. And I can't tell you how refreshing it was to hear as a player coming from WoW, modern WoW, where the daily time spent is the engagement metric, valued above all else, above even whether you're having a good time. If the numbers show engagement, then that content is a success. It doesn't matter if you hated every minute you spent doing the content. Activision Blizzard would think that I love washing dishes because I do it every single day. Washing dishes is a success as content. And actually, if you'll indulge me a bit by continuing to just make a point about, WoW, just for the sake of contrast, to drive long-term participation. What they've started to do is intentionally release systems that are broken and hopelessly grindy on release, often very RNG dependent. And people will play it when it is new. Lots of participation whenever it's brand new. And then when the engagement starts to fall off, people stop playing, they will release the fix that people had been asking for from the start. Basically, they do that just to drive the numbers back up again. So they release the system broken in the beginning and make everybody waste a whole lot of time on it. And then later, they release the fix, acting like they're the big heroes who listen to player feedback. Asmongold released a great video going into all the different times that this has happened, and it seems that it's catching on elsewhere in the WoW community, where I had seen on a Bellular video, one very highly voted comment said they've been doing the same thing for multiple expansions now, releasing heavy RNG game mechanics to make the content last longer, and when everyone's had enough, they release the catch-up patch to bring people back in till the next patch or expansion. It's not a fix, it's their business model. Yes, the fix should have been there from the start, but why do that when you could milk the same cow twice? Nearly 2 years into the expansion, they're finally getting corruption vendors, making BIS somewhat attainable right before the next X pack is out, so it doesn't even matter. Just thought of it now that everybody unsubbed waiting for the next expansion. I think it's manipulative, and I think it's obvious what they're doing. I think the WoW community deserves better, but I only point that out to illustrate how they very much do not want you to, as Yoshida suggested, take a break. You know, it's a game. Go play other games. Come back when you feel like it. Don't get burnt out. That is not advice that you're going to be hearing from Activision Blizzard. And 14's game design reflects that more compassionate and more sustainable philosophy. It's like BIS has always been attainable. It's a very realistic goal. Like you can play 14, raid, get your BIS, and then chill out. You know, be free. Be free and like do whatever you want to do until the next content patch. You can walk your dog, write Klingon erotica. You know, you do you. You do you till you're ready to play. Or be like me, be an obsessive person and just play the game constantly. The thing is that comparing these two philosophies, I think it's really funny that the one that's more geared towards pressuring me to play every day and log in as much as possible, I get bored of very quickly. I do try to, on occasion, I try to come back in to see WoW's big content patches so that I can have intelligent discussions with people that are coming from WoW and, kind of stay up to date on what's happening over there. And I really cannot play that game for very long stretches. I get bored. I get burnout. Doesn't matter how hyped I am about a patch. And look, I'm very excitable. Okay, it doesn't take a lot for me to get hyped. I get hyped very easily. But it doesn't matter. I'm still cannot play for more than a few weeks at a time. Just I find it very, very soul crushing and draining, and I get bored. And yet the other game, which is designed so that you can take breaks from it, I never get bored of. I think the crux of it is this. When a game doesn't have heart, when you value joy less than participation, it really does start to feel like clocking in and clocking out. It's funny because for me, WoW feels like work, but 14 is literally my job. Like, this should feel like work, but it doesn't. I'm still, look, sometimes editing a video feels like work. It's really tedious sometimes, but you know what I mean? I talk about BIS a little bit and attainable goals in 14, giving you the space you need to just sort of get your loot and relax. Not every single thing is tied to character power, character progression. I like how I don't feel pressured to do stuff. There are so many different activities that I do just because they're fun, not because there's some carrot on the stick. Like, they are the carrot. Like, the carrots are everywhere for you to dig up if you go look for them. A viewer actually came into my Twitch chat a while back and they said something that stuck with me. They said that when they play WoW, they feel like there's a lot of stuff that they have to do. But when they play 14, they feel like there's a lot of stuff that they want to do. That's, I think, why 14 never felt like a job for me. even after it actually became my job. I like to go to Baldessian Arsenal, which is a 56-man raid. I have everything I could possibly need from there, but I love to keep going back. It's just good. I like the experience of being there. I've also been doing a lot of deep dungeon, trying to get to the highest or lowest floors. I got my Night Pegasus the other day on the stream. And yeah, that was awesome to get the Night Pegasus, but that wasn't the reason why I was there. It was a reason, but it wasn't the reason. The reason I was there was because it was fun. It is the carrot by itself. The content is the fun. And I think that's how it should be. What goes along with that is having a very wide and diverse array of different activities that I can sink my teeth into. There are like so many different little rabbit holes that you can get lost in. Like even just a job system, you can get lost in it. First system like that I encountered and got really involved with was gardening, of course. That's how I started my YouTube channel. I'm constantly shooketh by how long I've been playing the game, and yet there's so many systems still after playing over 9,000 hours I have played in this game. There's still so much for me to learn. And that's an awesome feeling. I think that's the difference between an attitude of having like a sense of exploration and discovery, which for me keeps the magic alive, versus the single-minded pursuit of objectives. That's the sort of thinking that gives you a better sense of wonder of the world. It makes you feel more immersed, and it gives you a more diverse array of things to do. It seems like everyone I know plays the game a little bit differently, has like a slightly different list of things that they do every day. When people ask me, how do you play 14 every single day without getting bored? They probably have in mind me logging in to do the same thing every day. And so it sounds like incredibly boring when you say it like that, but that's not how I play at all. I log in and I'm like, what random thing do I feel like doing today? What completely random thing? You know what? I want to be best friends with the Sahagin suddenly. A couple days ago, I spent a lot of time gearing up my retainers, which is like a super obscure thing to do. I made sure they all had cute glamours on. Other things like I've been working on my Heaven's Ward relic. There's a lot of little things that I do to make each day feel different. Even just getting tomestones for the week. Maybe I will do roulettes for them. Maybe I will do hunts for them. I always have different stuff that I'm working on, and if something starts to feel kind of boring to me, I stop doing that thing and I go find something else to do, and none of it feels like I'm under a lot of pressure to do it. And so for that reason, I feel like it's sustainable. It's just for a good time. It's very relaxed, carefree, and yet I still feel like time I invest is valued and respected. So obviously there's a lot of different ways for me to play every day to keep things interesting for myself. And with Yoshida's philosophy of, them not wanting to pile up unnecessary stress on you as you play, the result of that is me actually being able to play longer and have more fun doing it. So without rambling for too much longer here, I just want to say that, again, you really don't need to play as much as I do. I'm sure that there are others like me who play as much as I do and are happy to do so. But have you ever been burnout? Did you come back to the game and feel a renewed vigor for it after a break? Was that healthy for you? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you like this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon or on Twitch. You can also support the channel for free by clicking the subscribe button or by sharing this video with your fellow warriors of darkness. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.